Welcome back to another episode of Uploaded Unfiltered, the podcast in which I, your host Jermaine, interviews another content creator in regards to their journey thus far. Before I get our guest on the line, I'm gonna go ahead and read his bio so we can get some background information before we can get this conversation started. Father, husband, active duty, Navy sailor, and Twitch streamer turned YouTube content creator. Blerd prides themselves on creating a pro-black space, a place where people can be comfortable with who they are and what games they enjoy. Its community's motto is, "We die our way through games." He has been streaming and content creating for 4 years with a focus on RPGs, Monster Hunter, Destiny 2, and secretly, Soul games. Go ahead and get this man introduced to the podcast. Blerd, thank you for being a guest. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing today?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, number one, sir. I'm doing great. Like I told you, man, crazy week for my family. Babies just got braces. So it's been a lot. It has been a lot.
Man, you got me excited with that Souls game, a little tidbit you dropped there. Before we get into that, though, I don't want to, I'm about to jump the gun. How did you get started in content creation? What was the road to where you are now?
Honestly, I had no idea what Twitch was. I had no idea what streaming was. At the time, but again, still in the military, I was stationed in Pensacola, Florida. And malware forensics analyst by trade, going to work, it's not a lot of folks that look like you and I, right? To be honest. So my cousin kind of gave me the idea, said, hey, man, you should try streaming. You really like Monster Hunter. I think like you're good at having conversations with people. You talk to anybody, give it a go. And that's really when I started. First person I met was X Evo Alpha, another black dude that played Monster Hunter. So, it was love, man. It was love.
Yeah. That is awesome. So you went straight from like cold turkey. You was like, you know what? I'm streaming. What was your first setup looking like? I knew it. All right, this is gonna be good.
My first setup was like an amalgamation of pieces I pulled from the house. Always been like a tech dude.
Yes.
So I had the HD, I think it was the HD 60 capture card.
Yep.
I had an old computer desk. I actually was streaming in the corner of my bedroom. Like you wouldn't have known it was my bedroom, but like my bed that I slept in with my wife is like on this side. I had a window literally right here that I had a blackout curtain on, and I had the camera like pushed like this. I use a Razer Blade Stealth laptop.
Okay.
And my Xbox and the capture card. And I have found a random mic. I think I got a mic arm for like $20 off of Amazon.
Right.
And I didn't know what a pop filter was. I didn't know about noise gates. I didn't know about none of that. And I'm just over here in the corner. Oh, that was cool.
Yeah.
It just, you don't know what to expect. So it was low budget. Then I think I got a Blue Yeti. Somebody was like, nah, bro, get a Blue Yeti mic, dog. And I got one of them, and it kind of, stack by stack. I got a picture. Very first post I made on Instagram was.
That's awesome. Listen, I knew you was a tech dude, so I knew your first setup had to be everything. Like, you're like, hey, this is what I want to do. Let me get it started, and this is what I got. And that's all you need sometimes.
Absolutely.
Man,
absolutely.
That is funny. All right, Blerd, let's go ahead and jump into current mindset. This is where I ask my guests how they feeling about the content, where your mind is in regards to where you want to take it. The floor is yours. How you feeling about it?
I have gone through like a lot of like transition. I used to be like, oh man, I just want to be a streamer. I just want to play the game with like the community I built. And that's me fundamentally at my core. That is who I am. My Discord isn't public because we're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Very selective about like who to invite, right? Because you want to protect, what you're building. So at the core, I'm a streamer all day community. The content side though, that kind of started to change for me. For a while, I was making shorts on relevant things happening in the gaming industry and in the space. And that is enjoyable to me. And that's been great. But I've tried to focus more on making long form videos on YouTube on like how to beat bosses and like my thought about Hades 2 just dropped. I made a video about my first impressions of the demo of the game, why it's so good in comparison to the first one. So if you could ever my mindset for my thought process going into it is, hey, I can stream a game on Twitch and then provide some in-depth analysis in some form of long-form video on YouTube, and then on TikTok and Instagram, make a little short piece of form content and post that there.
Yeah.
Have I successfully figured that flow out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You know, like, you know, my son got karate here in an hour and a half. You know, it's just the nature of the beast. So
right.
That's my goal, though. Really continue to stream, but continue to build out my YouTube. I tried streaming on YouTube, didn't really like it too much. My community came, we tried it, did it, and it was like, nah, we back to Twitch. So yeah.
I think as streamers, I too went through a similar transition, and I feel like unless you want to be a certain type of streamer, if like that's all you're gonna do, you're streaming 8 hours a day, 40 like 4 or 5 days a week. Like I feel like that if you're trying to make it a career and make money, I feel like that's the only route you can go at this point. But if you're trying to do streaming and content, I feel like just like you said, making simple supplemental content in regards to the game you're playing on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok is the smart route to take. And I'm glad that you're doing that. The flow, that's the fun part that you gotta figure out. Like, what's the flow that I need, especially with how busy your life is, family wise, schedule wise.
Yeah,
you gotta fit that in there.
Absolutely. I think one of the hardest parts for me, shout out to my partner, Grandmaster Snacks. He's like a behind the scenes tech guy. You know, when we were talking about the editing process and hey, I'm dual PC, I'm recording, but I want to edit on a MacBook. He's helped me figure out that whole workflow. Nice. One of the more difficult parts in the entirety of all of it for me is writing scripts. I got raw footage. I got idea, right? But when I put hands on keyboard, I'm like, and Yasuke did a jump that, but you know what I'm saying? You can only say that so well, you know, like Yasuke is a black samurai that, you know, before it turned into, I don't know, but it's just so difficult for me. Conversation all day.
I hear you.
Putting it on paper, boy, can't do it.
That's crazy. Like, I swear to God, every guest I get on here is going through something that I'm going through. So I wrote maybe 1 or 2 scripts out of every video that I've done. And those videos did well, but 1 or 2 scripts out of like hundreds of videos. I can't do scripts.
My man said at my core, it hurt me to do. I was sweating.
I got a script right here. I had to read your bio and I was like stumbling, like, I don't know what it is. Like when it comes to doing a video with a script, but I have seen people do it and it feels different. It feels more professional.
Absolutely.
More put together.
Absolutely.
Man, yo, if you figure out some magic, let me know and I'll do the same.
Hey, look, we gonna work that process together, my brother. Exactly. You know, we gonna figure it out.
That's funny. All right, so going forward, like you said, you wanted to grow out your YouTube a little bit more. In regards to streaming, oh no, you know what? We're here now. I can talk about it. Soul games. What? Oh
yeah.
Soul games have you been playing? Because I'll let you. Everybody's playing Elden Ring right now, and
they playing Elden Ring.
I was like, I love Elden Ring.
Yeah,
I don't have the time to play the DLC, so I thought, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So now I'm making my way to the DLC. Which games have you played, and do you stream those?
We stream them.
Yes.
As of lately, right? We be Sekiro, Lies of P. We're on Elden Ring. I lost my save file for Elden Ring. I backed up from the Steam cloud at a later save date than where I was at, trying to be cute and playing multiple places. They got me.
Yeah.
What is the other? There's another Souls game that we recently played.
Did you play Bloodborne?
Played Bloodborne.
Okay.
Yeah. But I say, so especially when it comes to Souls games, I never would stream them. I secretly enjoyed them, or I think I didn't know that I enjoyed them.
Right.
But I'm like, I got sheer willpower. Like we got to the end of Sekiro, and I'm not good at games. I literally say in the stream, I'm not good at games. I'm here because I enjoy games, and we gotta die our way through it. I think I'm streaming 3 times a week. I think we fought the final boss in Sekiro for like 2 weeks.
Oh yeah,
because I could not beat the dude at
He's
9
no
hours a week. We in there, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
I'm sweating. I'm talking about. I done played the first 2 phases of the fight so much that if I get hit one time, I'll be like, "Hey, y'all, let's start over."
Yeah, we're done.
You know, I should be able to make it through this flawlessly at this point.
That's funny. You end up beating him?
Absolutely,
right.
absolutely.
I'm just making sure.
Absolutely. 187 deaths later, but absolutely,
that's what I keep telling people. Like, you're gonna die. Like, and honestly, here goes some crazy linking of knowledge here. I feel like people who enjoy Souls games understand that you're gonna die. If that doesn't deter you, you're good. Like, that's it.
You're good. Yeah, I think that it can be daunting to get into, right?
Mm-hmm, for sure.
Like any other game. I think like when it comes to builds and min-maxing, that's another aspect of it. But the reality is like you will die in the game.
Oh yeah.
Unless you are a professional Souls player that is doing a no-death run for charity or whatever reason that y'all are doing it, you're going to die. So that stress of not dying, I don't care about that.
Yeah.
Hey, bro. We have a death counter up here. I got a command that's an exclamation death counter that will spit out a random number of deaths. And sometimes it 1.5 million, 16,542.
Yeah.
Like, it don't.
It's going to happen.
It's going to happen, man. Just sit back, ride the ride.
I'm going to start hiring people, and on the resume or in the job questionnaire, it's going to be like, do you play Soul games? Because I feel like people who like are cool with putting up with that adversity are going to like do whatever it takes to get whatever they need to do done. Hey, honestly,
they said we just gonna hit the W key for you all
exactly.
day.
You like, you play? How do you feel about it? You mad?
You mad? Well, actually, I haven't broken any controllers. I'm actually quite calm.
Yeah,
I expected this to happen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, right.
That's funny as hell. All right, Blerd. Lessons learned. What lesson have you learned because you started creating content?
Honestly, I would say that everyone is not the same. And what I mean by that is that you don't have to be friends with everyone, but you definitely should be respectful to everyone, right? Because, for example, Crip, if I don't want to be in your Discord and I don't want to come to every stream, doesn't mean I don't see you and acknowledge the things that you're doing and can acknowledge your growth and recognize that. It just means that, hey, I'm a father, husband, sailor. I got a 40-hour work week. I have all these other requirements, right? So I can't do those things to show you that I appreciate you, but that doesn't mean that I don't appreciate you.
Right.
And that's the vice versa of that. I think in this space, often people assume that, oh, well, you don't mess with so-and-so because you're not in their streams, or you don't care about what they're doing, or you must have an issue with them. No, I don't have time. Or sometimes you don't want to be a part of what somebody's doing. And that doesn't mean you want to see them fail. It just isn't on point with what your brand or what your foundation is that you're building off of. So I would tell anybody at any phase in content creation to protect whatever it is you're going into content creation with and align yourself appropriately with those individuals.
Yes, that's a quote of the podcast. Clip that shit.
My editor say, clip it and ship it, baby. That's what you say. Clip it and ship it.
But back to what you were saying, 100% in agreement. Because we're busy, and for me, it was always, I'm a dad. Like, dad comes first. If the kids get up in the middle of the stream, I'm out.
I gotta go.
So I can't come to your stream at 3 in the afternoon. I'm probably doing shit with the kids or something. But that doesn't mean I don't rock with what you do. And that's why I try to go back and like people's posts on TikTok or show up every once in a while. But like, yo, I'm here. I see you.
Right.
I'm lurking.
Right. And it's crazy that you even have to have that mindset that you have to do that. Right. Like, because at the end of the day, I work 8 to 4. My kids typically go to bed about 9 o'clock. So I got to come home. We got to have dinner. We got to do homework. We got to get ready for bed. So on those nights that I'm streaming is the time that I was able to carve out.
Right.
So when I'm not streaming, I'm literally being Omni-Man doing everything else.
Exactly.
But again, and the takeaway is that we all don't have the same requirements in our lives. So we don't all have the same amount of time to invest.
Yeah.
So,
man, I have some homies that during the pandemic when everybody was pretty much at home, we were gaming every night because we didn't have nothing else to do.
Right.
Things kind of evened itself out. I went back to work and he's just still chilling. So he's expecting that time to like, hey man, we running dungeons, and I'm like, nah, dude, I got shit to do.
Bro, I gotta go to work. Yeah.
I gotta wake up in the morning, man. What you mean? And like, back to your point of like having that mindset of, oh, let me do this so X, Y, and Z doesn't feel away. I'm starting to lean towards anything I do is not to hurt anybody. So if I don't come to your stream, it's not because of you.
Absolutely.
If it is, you'll know, because I'll just let you know. It's like, hey man, we can't X, Y, and Z.
I don't really mess with you. Yeah.
That's it.
Exactly. Hey, Crip, I understand. Listen, I see you stream. I'm like, dang, the brother Crip streaming.
Yeah.
Well, I need to go ahead and get these kids from school.
Exactly.
What a pleasure. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like, it's life, man. I hate to be the dude too, because my goal isn't to become like incredibly wealthy, right? Like streaming. I do it purely as a hobby, as a passion. That doesn't mean I don't want a high production level. It just means, this is a passion and a hobby that I have. So I can't give you a 40-hour work hour in your stream, brother. You know?
It's not happening.
It's not happening, dog. It's like,
oh, that's funny. All right, you know what? This is a perfect segue into words of advice. We kind of, if you're listening and you're an astute student, you probably pick some words of advice out of that knowledge. But to be specific, go ahead and drop some knowledge on whoever you want to give it to.
I would say anybody like starting content creation, in content creation, wherever you're at in your journey, you are always new in some capacity. Every time you change an avenue, you are new. So with that, I would tell you to fail as fast as possible. Just fail. Because the quicker you fail, the quicker you'll get to success. That's a personal motto of mine. Hey, man, I went live. The sound didn't work. Okay, well, this is a sound issue that I've learned how to correct. Hey, man, I literally in my stream, it is a joke. Hey, it's not a Blerd stream if the sound ain't broke one point in time. Right? Because if I'm waiting for everything to be perfect, if I'm waiting to learn how to finish all of these transitions in this edit, if I'm waiting to figure out how to completely write scripts, if I'm waiting to, hit peak form, then I'll never do anything. So just fail really fast, man. Fail fast so you can get to success.
Hey, everybody listening, your boy picked a great guess, because the shit that he's saying right now, I have been like screaming. My kid, like last week, I kid you not, last week, my oldest daughter, she's like, oh, I don't want to do X, Y, and Z. And I was like, listen, I know you're scared, but as soon as you fail, like you'll get past that scary part. Fail, figure out what didn't work, and go back and execute.
Absolutely.
Like,
absolutely.
Oh man, thank you.
Absolutely.
Bro. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm with you. Like,
man.
Hey, we can put it on a shirt. Look, we're gonna call it fail fast.
Yes.
Success.
Make it I'll buy one. I'm not even fucking like I will buy one. I'll buy two. Shit. That is, again, failure is not something that I think as young kids, especially like in the school systems and just how we move in life, if you hear the word failure, you automatically think something negative. Like, oh, I messed up. I'm bad.
Absolutely.
But everybody's failed, and that's how you get better.
I'm telling you.
Like, once you realize that, it just unlocks something in your brain. You're like, oh, all right, so let me go fail 5 times real quick so I can get better. Simple as that.
Yeah, but again, you're not taught that. We're not groomed that way. We're taught, instant satisfaction.
Exactly.
Don't give into the process. So.
Man, that is awesome. Thank you for rejuvenating my belief in humans.
I'm here for you.
It's crazy to think, like, not that you're the only person that thinks that, but it's dope to run into other people that do think that way. And you're like, oh shit, all right, there's more of us. Cool.
Yeah. I mean, and you should acknowledge that and see it in people's content as they keep making content.
True. For sure.
Like if you go back and look at the very first Kai Cenat live stream video, I guarantee it is not what it is today. With a whole Elden Ring Melina set in the background. He was probably in a closet in a room with a camera,
like Mike ain't working, camera just 720p, but he stuck to it because he enjoyed it. And I think a lot of us are in that specific space. And I feel like that's personally, I think those people are going to be the ones that when they blow up, it's going to be a beautiful thing because they're not trying to be other people. Like you're not trying to be, you're being you, and you can see that in your content. And then the thing that I love when people start emulating you, they're like, "Oh man, I know you can do that. Let me do that." And you're like, "Yeah,
right." He's like, "Yeah, I see y'all boys been watching, huh?"
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're enjoying the content. Funny. All right. Yo, Blerd, this has been a super dope conversation. I'm glad we finally got to get it on the books.
Absolutely.
This is the first, I'm gonna just go ahead and say this now, first of many, because I do plan on doing panels, and one specific panel that I want to do is a dad panel. Maybe I'll do parent.
Lock me in. I'm already there. Lock me in. Yeah.
Because I think, as you were, like you said in your bio, creating a pro Black space is something that when I was younger, I didn't know how badly I needed it.
I'm telling you.
Because my pops was in the military, so we moved everywhere. And like you said, there's not that many of us in spaces that I was in at the time, work, school.
Right.
And so to create that, to show younger Black men, Black girls, hey, we're doing this dope shit and it's possible. You can do this too. And so that's the goal of this podcast, is to get more of our voices out there, more of our stories out there. That hey, this is how I struggled and this is where I'm at now, and it's been dope. So I appreciate the work you're doing and keep that up, man.
Hey, thank you, sir.
Let's go ahead and do a call to action. Where do you want to send the people? I know you got like 55 links to drop. Where do you want to send them
at? Really, I greatly appreciate it if you would go to your nearest YouTube and look up James the Blerd. There you will find some long form videos I made about content that I'm excited is coming out and other things. And then if you care and want to be a part of the live stream, definitely come over to Twitch. I'm James the Blerd on every piece of social media, but those are my two main platforms. But yeah, James the Blerd, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, YouTube.
Hell yeah. Simple, easy. All his links will be in the description of this podcast. And as always, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast, Uploaded and Unfiltered. It comes out every week. I have not missed a week yet. This is going to be episode 50, which is crazy. That's 51 weeks in a row. Anyways, I'm just bragging a little bit. But follow the podcast. We're giving out knowledge. We're trying to uplift people. And I want everybody to know that you're not going through this shit alone. Like, you may think that, but trust me, there's at least one other person that's feeling the way you are. Other than that, Blerd, thank you again for doing this. I appreciate it.
Hey, thank you for having me, sir.
As always, I'm excited. I can't wait for everybody to listen to this. Anyways, as always, protect your mental, keep creating content, and I will talk to y'all on the next one. Peace.